Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday edition of Video Clips. And just a couple reminders. I'll remind you that we have a couple of boot camps coming up. The Letting Go of the Past 8-class series is starting the first week of March. The first weekend in March, we're having the Communication and Problem Solving Boot Camp Friday night, Saturday afternoon. We also have coming up the HIV AIDS boot camp, which is coming up in, I think it's in April. We had to switch things around a little bit. We're always switching things around here. We hate that here, but we're trying to juggle a lot of balls over here at Wellness Forum Health. And then remember, Thursday at noon, Make Americans Free Again conference calls, and there are Thursday groups going on all over the country. Start one, I can show you how. And all that. And careers, if you're interested in careers and learning how to do what we do here, send me an email at pampopper@msn.com. So I wanted to talk about good news today. Good news about what people are doing and things that are coming out great during this COVID disaster. We're always talking about bad news, and sometimes we have to talk about good news. And I had some good news to share last week, and people were pretty excited. So I'm going to share some more good news today. I'm not going to tell you where this happened. The person who sent this to me said that he didn't want that to happen. But I am going to tell you that when all this started, a church someplace in the United States got together, they prayed together, and they said, listen, we want to help. What should we be doing to help? And lo and behold, some companies, big companies, offered to donate food and other supplies and resources to the church. And since this all started, here is what has happened. The church has volunteered. They've had volunteers working 39 weeks. They have loaded 4,140,000 pounds of groceries. A total of 2,067 tons of groceries and food have been packed up and given out. A total of 135,780 families served, including families that drive up to the door to collect food. Nobody has been turned away. They've worked for a total of 36 weeks supplying food to the elderly in nursing homes in nearby towns. Volunteer workers have logged 24,060 hours from bagging groceries to putting mushrooms in quart bags to be given out to people in need. There are 4 tractor trailers on site for the storage of food and groceries, including one that is refrigerated to prevent spoilage. Now, yesterday, if this is good news to hear, and yesterday when I was talking about what you do to stay sane during this whole thing. Being productive is something that helps people stay sane. Being productive is something that makes people feel like they have some control over some aspect of their lives. And so I'm always asking for people to join me and Make Americans Free Again, but look around in your community and find people to help too. One of the things that we do here, we call it Small Business Rescue, where we, who can, spend money at places that need it. And I've done that a lot. I'm not a real rich person, but I have some discretionary income. And I figured, well, I'm not going anywhere, so I'll take all that money I would have spent on travel or on going out to eat and all that sort of thing. Well, some of it I've spent on takeout to keep restaurants open, but I've been trying to spend money to help people who needed to stay in business. So adopt a business, get everybody to buy something or plan a special event there or something that you can do to help. A couple of court decisions I think are worth talking about. A court in Brussels, Belgium has determined that the requirement to wear a mask is unconstitutional. A guy got charged with not wearing a mask, ended up in court. The magistrate said that the blanket everybody has to do it is a breach of the constitutional right of freedom of movement. And that right can only be curtailed if Parliament passes a law. Well, I wouldn't rule that out. That's being contemplated in states here in the United States. But at least for the time being, this issue of just anybody saying, I'm decreeing something in what used to be a free country, that seems to be losing favor, which is a good thing. And a German court ruled that some restrictions were unconstitutional. What happened was a A guy was caught celebrating his birthday with 7 other people in the courtyard of a house at the end of April 2020. And they had contact restrictions at the time that allowed members of 2 households to be together. And apparently there were more than 2 households involved. And you know, this virus is really smart. It knows if you've got 2 or 4 households, it can tell the difference, and it gets pretty nasty when you get beyond 2. So anyway, the fine was supposed to be a couple €100, and the judge actually, the basis of his decision was based on medical facts, economic consequences, and the policy itself. So we're seeing more and more where the facts of the case seem to involve, is there a pandemic, what are the rules? And in this case, part of the rule of law in Germany is that the laws have to be definite. They can't just be blanket decrees and encourage, as the judge said, over enthusiastic interpretation by the authorities, leading to arbitrariness. We're hoping at some point in time that some of our cases will end up in similar decisions. And then one of the things that I'm very encouraged about, and I have been for months, this isn't something new, is the number of police forces and sheriffs who've just said, we are not going to do anything about this. Don't call us. We have a lot of that going on here in Ohio. So this letter was sent to the Empress Grisham in New Mexico, who has been sued along with the state of New Mexico. I'm smiling because I think it's just wonderful. This is the lovely lady, by the way, who, after she locked everything down, had a jewelry store open so that she could get a necklace she needed, because you know, when you're going to be on TV every day, you got to look good. So it's not important anybody else look good or feel good about themselves, but when you're the Empress, you know, it's very important. So anyway, this is what this letter says. It's from Sheriff Michael T. Wood, and the date is January 13th of 2021. Madam Governor, he's much more respectful than I. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Michael T. Wood, and I'm the lawfully elected sheriff of Lincoln County, New Mexico. I took office January 1, 2021. It has been brought to my attention that under your authority, government officials have been acting under color of law within the confines of Lincoln County, New Mexico, pursuant to a public health order. It has been reported to me that local businesses have been interrupted and business owners have been threatened with unreasonable fines and threats of imprisonment without having committed any criminal offense. At no time in my 13 days in office have I been personally contacted and made aware of this activity. As a newly elected sheriff, I had hoped to hear from you by now. Please consider this correspondence an immediate cease and desist order issued by the Office of Lincoln County Sheriff until I have been consulted. In short, I have questions and I want answers. I've earned this consideration and my citizens deserve it. And then he asks her to contact his assistant and says, thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you. I don't know what happened with that, but bravo, more people standing up. It is time for people to stand up and take their rights back. And fortunately, some people in authority understand the rule of law. So I thought you would enjoy hearing something positive. God knows I have plenty of disastrous stuff to report every day, but there are some positive things happening. I expect we'll have more of that in the near future, and something to make you smile today. All right, as usual, pass this on to somebody else who you think would enjoy learning the other side of this entire debacle, and I'll be back to you tomorrow with more news.